Mix 1041, Boston's best variety. It's Greg. It's Fred. Andrew McMahon.
Good to see y'all.
What's up, buddy?
Good seeing you again, man.
Welcome back, man.
Glad to be here.
Last time we saw you, you played our Not So Silent Night at the House of Blues back in not this past December, the one before.
Tore it up,
and it was awesome.
Thank you so much.
It was so much fun because for people who had never seen you before, you're such an energetic performer. You're on the piano, you're under the piano, you're leaping off, you go crazy on stage.
Yeah. I mean, I think I grew up watching acts that. The more that they went, the crazier they got, the more fun the audience had. And I think especially now when everybody just wants to take pictures with their phones, to actually be in a position where you can play a show and bring people into it and kind of get them in the moment and have them focused on the show, it makes a big difference. You know.
Now, who would you say influenced you with that big stage performance?
Well, my first show I ever saw was Billy Joel in Cleveland, and he was such a maniac, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that was huge for me. REM in the early days, I saw them on the Monster Tour, and that was huge.
What about like Elton John, another piano player?
I saw Elton later with the Billy Joel Elton John.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So I think those. I mean, I think artists like that were the ones that sort of paved the way for me. Guys like Ben Folds and Ben Folds 5. You know, those were the acts that like. As a piano player, seeing guys beat the crap out of the piano was a highlight for me.
And like you said, I think your energy forces people to put their phones down. Instead, doing this like, holy crap, look what he's doing now, you know?
That's the idea. That's the hope, you know. And I don't mind people taking pictures. I think it's a part of the world we live in. But if we can engage them and get them feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss this, then that ends up being the big moment in the set.
So that night at the House of Blues, I bought you a shot of tequila.
That sounds about right.
Do you remember that? No.
I've been known to drink a shot of tequila from time to time.
But it was funny because you were there and you were chatting with somebody, and I was buying around. I went over to him. I'm like, Andrew, you want a shot of tequila? And you're like, well, this
was in the foundation room.
Yeah, the foundation room, and you went like this. I'll never forget the quote. You went, well, this changes things, and then we did the shot, and it was a blast.
The rest was history,
and the rest is gone.
What happened after that? Very fuzzy and foggy. Anyway, you got a new album coming out. Before we get to that, I want to chat about that. I want to talk about your daughter. How's your daughter doing, Cecilia?
She's doing great. She turns 3 on Monday. I know, right?
I got a 4-year-old daughter, so I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I had this moment where I was playing this party for Billboard last night, and I was in the middle of Cecilia and the Satellite, and just thinking like. It's crazy to me. She turns 3, and that song was written kind of like right as this project was being hatched, and she was being born, and sort of seeing like now record coming out a couple days before her birthday, like it becomes like a measure of time, you know, like how you
no doubt, yeah. Does she understand that song's about her? Does she?
Yes.
Does she like it? Is she?
Yeah, she.
Does she want to hear it all the time?
She'll say if she doesn't like what's on the radio, she goes. Put on Daddy's music. Put on Daddy's songs, and then if she doesn't like the song that we put on for my catalog, she goes, "No, my Daddy's song."
Cecilia and the Satellite. That's what she wants to hear, which is an amazing song. I just absolutely love that tune. So, a new album coming out tomorrow. Tell us about it. It's called Zombies on Broadway.
Yeah,
interesting title.
So, I sort of packed up and moved operations to New York to make this record. And yeah, it was sort of a reference to the area just outside of the studio in Times Square, where like you'd have to kind of power through the tourist trap to get in and out of the studio, and sort of after a handful of months of studio meeting, 4 a.m. pub crawl kind of vibes.
Yeah.
I think then I started turning into one of the zombies, and it made its way into a yet unreleased song. But yeah, that's where that's
awesome. So out tomorrow. So this perfect timing for you to be here.
Yeah. It's a big day for me. I'm excited.
Well, continued success. Next time you're in Boston, please come by. You're welcome at our radio station anytime. Mix 1041. You're part of the family.
We'll see you in the spring then. All right.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Oh, that's right. Are you coming to town? You got any shows coming?
Sold out House of Blues show.
And when is that? What's the date on that?
It's I want to say it's got to be end of March, beginning April.
Google it, all right? Just Google it. You'll find it. Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness on Mix 1041. Thanks, you, brother.
Appreciate it.